have you waiting on me like this, fellow artist and all that.
I'm not on the stage now, sir.
No, but you have been, and that makes a big difference where I'm concerned.
If you should need anything else.
Yes, I'll come and fetch it.
Old Bruce says that we have no neighbours, but there's an infernal camp or something perched on the edge of the wood, not 100 yards from our back door.
Well, what of it?
What of it? I've come here for peace and quiet, for solitude, and for all I know, we could be invaded by the Lads Brigade.
Oh, Charles, you always look on the black side. They may only be Boy Scouts.
Well, what's the difference? And why hasn't this debris been cleared away?
All right, I'll take it up when I go. Do you want a drink?
I want several. There's no soda.
Outside.
What a hole. The soda, Molly.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'll just get some.
Nice girl, Molly.
Seems competent.
Been on the stage, you know.
Oh?
Leading lady in Tubby Watson's company.
Never heard of him.
No, neither have I, but you might at least be enthusiastic about it.
Don't feel enthusiastic about anything. I feel like going and chucking myself in the river, if there is a river.
Oh, yes, there is one. I saw one.
All right. Be so damn cheerful about it. Thank you, Molly. What's that beastly camp arrangement I can see from my bedroom window?
Oh, that's Mr. Mole's camp, sir.
Or is he a scoutmaster?
I don't think so. I don't quite know what he is. He comes here every summer, I'm told. Rather a nice old gentleman. He looks like a parson, but he can't be because he's a friend of the Major's.
Oh no, that means he may call on us.
I expect so, sir. I haven't taken up Mr. Bentley's luggage.
Oh, leave those. They're heavy.
Your room's first and the right, sir.
No, I can't have you...
It's quite all right.
I suppose you're going to want to star her in our next production.
Oh, I haven't thought of it, but it's a good idea.
I'll tell you now, I've got all the stars I need.
I don't think you recognise talent when you see it.
I engaged you, didn't I?
Yes, but you didn't discover me. I was famous in pantomime before you'd even heard of me, and I'd been hailed as the world's greatest comedian.
Who on earth called you that?
My publicity agent.
And who told him?
I did.
The sort of thing that you would say. Are there any electric light? Is there any electric light in this house?
No, sir. Candles or oil lamps.
Oh, good gracious.
One gets used to them, sir.
I shall never get used to them. A man in my condition should be where there's lights, music and laughter. Laughter. That's a joke.
Have something to eat, old man. It'll make you feel better.
I shall never feel better, and I doubt if I ever eat again. If we ever have come here, this place gets on my nerves.
Old, peaceful, romantic.
Romantic, my good. This place belongs to a bygone age. Everywhere you look, you expect to see horrible faces peering at you from windows. Doorways.
Oh, my name is Mole. I'm a friend of Major Bruce. You can see my little camp from your upper window.
Oh yes, to be sure. I was just remarking how cosy it looked, perched on the edge of the wood.
Well, I'm so glad you like it. There are many, you know, who object to camps.
Seems hardly credible.
Oh, there are a lot of disgruntled people in the world, that's the trouble.
Too true, Mr. Mole. A smiling face and a cheery word goes a long way.
It goes all the way, Mr. Pentwick is the name?
Charles Pentwick. And this is Robert Bentley, the celebrated actor.
Oh, please be seated, Mr. Bentley. Oh, I had not noticed you had risen. I beg you to continue your repast.
Oh, I assure
Well,
you.
would you like to join us?
Oh, that's very nice of you, but I'll never touch food after 6.
Whiskey and soda then?
Oh, no, really. I was once tempted to take a little stimulant in an egg and milk, and I was rendered unconscious.
Good Lord.
But I must not weary you with my misfortunes. You are eager to learn the purport of my visit, so I will come to the point at once.
Oh, do.
I find myself placed in a most distressing position.
You shock me, Mr. Mole.
On Thursday last, the Reverend Nicholas Povey, the vicar of this parish, a charming man, he was meeting one day, was kind enough to invite me to spend the weekend at the vicarage. A quaint old place, standing almost in the middle of the graveyard. Most delightful.
It must be.
Well, to cut a long story short, as you've probably heard some people say, I'm afraid the excitement was a little too much for me. What with the croquet in the afternoon and bezique in the evening, I felt quite worn out.
Naturally.
Well, I cannot stand excitement, and the result was that when the time came for me to do my shopping in the village this morning, before returning to my camp, I found I could not concentrate. And when I got back, imagine my consternation when I discovered I had omitted to purchase an egg for my breakfast.
Oh, you want an egg? Certainly, as many as you'd like. Bentley, would you mind?
Oh, that is very kind of you. I shall return it without fail before tomorrow evening. Or, should I say, it's like.
Yes, you're quite a wag, Mr. Mole.
Oh, I do say things sometimes.
Yes, and I bet you know a few risky tales.
I heard one the other day about a commercial traveller.
Yes,
Quite. Could you get some eggs for Mr. Mole, please?
Oh,
Molly?
one will be ample, I assure you. You know the colour I like.
Yes, sir, brown.
It really is extremely good of you, Mr. Fenwick.
No, not at all. Any time.
I hope we shall see much of each other during your stay.
I feel sure we shall.
You must challenge him to croquet, Mr. Mole.
Oh, do you play?
I'm afraid I'm a little rusty at the
Oh,
moment.
come off it, Charles. You know perfectly well you're wizard at the game.
That's splendid. I must introduce you and Mr. Benny to the vicar. We will arrange a tournament one afternoon. Church versus stage. I understand you are also connected with the theatrical profession.
Yes, I run theatres and companies and things.
How very interesting. It must be great fun. You must tell me more about it one day. I used to be quite a theatre goer in my youth. I well remember that great actor, Wilson Barrett, in The Silver Ring.
Your egg, Mr. Mole?
Oh, thank you, Molly. Well, I must away. I usually take a dip in the cool of the evening.
Oh, I didn't know there was any bathing here.
Oh, yes, a charming spot. A quiet little backwater, not a quarter of a mile away. We must arrange a party. That would be jolly, wouldn't it?
Terrific.
I will speak to the vicar about it. If he comes, there will be some fun. But see you in the morning.
Rather, we might go bird nesting together.
Oh, spiffing. Oh, that shoelace will be the death of me. It nearly precipitated me in the river the other day.
Good Lord.
It used to belong to an uncle of mine, and he never really likes me, you know. That's better. Oh, the gnats are about again.
If we've got to put up with that for a month, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Oh, he's all right. I rather like him. He means well anyway.
Running theatre's great fun. Well, I'm going to get out of these shoes. They're killing me. Put my slippers on if I remember to pack them.
I think I'll go for a walk in the woods when the moon rises. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Sit and watch the woodlice, I suppose.
Are there any woodlice?
There's bound to be in a place like this.
Well, if the light's still good, why don't you polish up on your croquet?
Why on earth did you tell him I played the game? You know I've never held a mallet in my life.
I was only trying to be helpful.
Well, don't. Whenever you're helpful, everything always goes wrong.
Oh, how can you say that, Charles? Only the other day. Oh, you do say the unkindest things. And you know I'm only a sensitive lad, willing and eager to please. My every thought is for your welfare.
Here I am. Necktie straight, shoes on, all respectable.
Are you, Charles?
What do you mean, my dear? Am I?
Who is the nice young lady who was here a few moments ago describing herself as Mrs. Pentwick?
Did he tell you that?
If you are going to call Mr. Mole a liar, I shall not believe you.
No, he spoke the truth.
There is another woman in this house calling herself Mrs. Pentwick.
Yes, it's Dick's wife.
Dick? Married?
Yes, I know. I should have told you sooner, but
Found her. She was halfway down a rabbit hole and...
Oh.
the secret's out, Fritzy. I had to tell the wife about you and Dick getting married.
Getting married.
Oh, my dear, you needn't look so scared. I'm not going to eat you.
But Mrs.
Oh, and it's so romantic, isn't it? You've a little dog just like mine.
Dick's searching for you out in the woods. Don't you think you'd better go and find him and let him know the secret's out?
What's he like? I mean, what's his temper like? Dick gets so angry if I go anywhere without him.
Charles is just the same. I know. Don't let's tell him anything. Let him just come here and find me.
Oh no, I think Dick should know I'm his wife. I mean to say, Dick
should know that you know I'm his wife. Wouldn't that rather spoil the surprise?
Will it may not have the same sense of humour as you, my dear?
No, I think it's better that I go and,
Who put that back?
I did. They look so much nicer there than on the
Too
windowsill.
late.
Margaret!
Darling, she knows all about our being married.
Being married?
It all happened so suddenly, didn't it, darling?
Yes, yes.
There's me rushing down here expecting to find your father being looked after by an elderly housekeeper. Oh, that reminds me. Where is Mrs. Harris?
Mrs. Harris.
Well, that is the name you gave, isn't it, Dick?
Yes, I don't know where she's got to, though.
She's here, sir.
Are you Mrs. Harris?
No, madam, I'm her daughter. This is my mother.
I'm so sorry to keep you late to this event. I was changing when you arrived, and what with one thing and another, I didn't know whether I was on my head or my heels.
I expect my unheralded arrival rather flurried you.
The least thing seems to flurry me these days. The doctor says it's my age.
Well, I do hope Mr. Pentwick hasn't been giving trouble.
Trouble? It's been a joy to have him here. He reminds me so much of my late husband.
Oh, really?
I look at him sometimes and I think, can you really be Mr. Pentwick? Or are you just my Arnold? And he's so devoted to you, you know. Just as my husband used to worship the ground I walked on. I shall never forget the night Molly was born. Up and down, up and down. The doctor said he must have walked miles.
Oh, poor man.
And I know it was true, because when I came down after the event, the dining room carpet was practically threadbare.
My husband would be just the same if I had a baby.
But you haven't seen over the house yet, my dear.
Oh, there's plenty of time, Charles.
They don't like it when we women keep talking, do they?
I don't notice it. You must be very proud of your daughter.
Oh, I am. She's a girl in a million, and she's a beautiful baby.
I can quite believe that.
9.5 pounds.
No!
9.5 pounds. Never been on the bottle.
Oh,
No, I was quite determined about that. I said, no, nature is nature.
Really, Mother, I think Mrs. Pentwick might like to go wash. She's had a long journey, you know.
Yes, of course. What a chatterbox I am. As my husband used to say, you never know when to stop.
well, I'm sure I've enjoyed our little conversation.
We must have another little confab sometime.
Not if I can help it.
How many bedrooms are there?
3, my dear. We're in
The
the...
blue room, sir.
Oh, blue, my favourite colour. And then, of course, there's Dick and Fritzy, that's 2, and you, Molly, naturally sleep with your mother. 3.
Look here, Father, what's to be done?
Heaven knows, my boy.
But hang it all, you got us into this mess. You've got to get us out again.
Oh, confound it, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault that Fritzy found her dog, that the roses were moved back and that mole turned up. I'll explain later.
What's this about you and Fritzy?
Well, he's told Margaret that we're married.
Why?
We don't know.
What probably happened was...
Molly!
I'll explain later.
And why are you supposed to be Molly's mother?
If it comes to that, why are you supposed to be Dick's wife?
Fritzy!
I'll explain later.
Do you know why you're her husband?
All I know is, I walked in through the door, Fritzy flung her arms round my neck, called me darling and said we were married.
The trouble is, where are we going to sleep tonight?
Don't ask me.
Dick, darling, Margaret wants to see you. She's had a wonderful idea. She suggests that we put our bed by the bedroom window so that when we wake up we can see the sunrise together.
You're fixed up all right.
What's the matter, darling? Don't you like the sunrise?
For heaven's sake, be serious.
I know. You'll explain later.
Oh, shut up!
I trust I do not.
Ah, the very man I wanted to see.
Oh, that's most gratifying.
In fact, I was coming over to your camp when it got a bit darker.
Dark.
I'm in a devil of a fix. Pentwick's wife has turned up unexpectedly. unexpectedly, and there'd be a hell of a row if she found out he got me staying with him.
Well, yes, I can quite...
The fact of the matter is, they've had a bit of a tiff, and she's left him. He wired for me because he was feeling a bit down in the mouth.
You have known Mr. Pentwick well in the past?
No, I've only known him intimately for the past 6 years. I was on the road when we first met.
On the road?
Yes, I was on the road before I worked the West End. I'd probably be there now if he hadn't spotted me in Manchester and recognised me as the goods.
The goods?
2 days later, he brought me down to London with him.
And you can honestly say you like the life?
Like it, I wouldn't give it up for anything. Mind you, there are plenty of temptations.
Oh, undoubtedly.
I hadn't been in the West End a week before I had Tommy Arnold, Jack Hilton and the rest of them after me like bees round a honey pot.
Deplorable.
On the contrary, I was rather flattered. But I said no, Charlie Pentwick brought me to London, and with Charlie Pentwick I will stay. And now, Mr. Mole, I have a proposal to make.
A proposal?
Yes, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't suggest it. But I do like you. I liked you from the first. In fact, I said to Pentwick when I first saw you, he's all right.
That's very nice of you.
You, Mr. Mole, are a sport.
I play a little croquet.
No, that's not quite what I mean. The fact is, I want to come to your tent tonight. Well, obviously, I've got to sleep somewhere.
I'm afraid it's quite impossible.
Why?
I only have the one tent.
Well, surely it's big enough for the two of us.
The two of us?
Well, I said I've got to sleep somewhere.
I repeat, it's impossible. I've never encountered anything so brazen.
Brazen? Good Lord, man, if you were in my shoes and asked me to put you up for the night, I'd say, yes, come in, old man, and welcome.
I do not doubt that you would.
Yet, at the mere suggestion of it, you go all knock-kneed and, well, I give up, it's beyond me.
It's beyond your comprehension that any man be possessed of the moral courage to resist your wiles. But you have met your match. I am strong, strong in the shining armour of virtue. And I say to you, away! You are, yes, I will say it though you smite me, you are an abandoned woman! Oh.
Woman? No, there's been a mistake. I'm not a woman. I'm a man. I'm Bentley.
What's happened?
Don't tell me. Mr. Mole has proposed to you.
It hasn't that. Mrs. Pentwick has asked if you're a good needlewoman.
A good... Well, I've never sewn a stitch in my life.
How can I tell her that? You're supposed to be Mrs. Bruce's dresser. You're a heard of a dresser who couldn't sew.
Well, I'll take the instructions, but you'll have to do it on her.
No good. She's wearing the frock she wants you to alter.
You mean I've got to do it on her?
Yes.
I must leave, give notice, resign.
No, you can't do that. You're supposed to be mother. You give notice, she'll be out of a job.
Yeah, but if I don't give notice and Pentwick catches me sticking pins in his wife, I shall be shot on the spot. No, Molly, there's no alternative. Mrs. Harris has got to disappear. Well, can't I run away with the milkman?
It's a little girl here.
Or the butcher then?
Oh, be serious. Think about this future.
Think of my present.
No, something's got to be done. I know. You can receive a telegram saying your sister Emily has been taken ill.
But I haven't got a sister.
Well, Mother has, and you're supposed to be her.
But by the time you've been to the village to send the telegram, I may be hanged, drawn and quartered.
I needn't send a wire at all. I've got the telegram that Mr. Pentwick sent Mother. All you have to do is hold it in your hand, and if anyone seems like wanting to read it, tear it up in your distress.
What am I distressed about?
Emily, she's very ill.
What's the matter with her?
Oh, I don't know. I can't think of everything.
Well, you've thought of everything so far.
Oh, I suppose you blame me for...
Blame you? I think you're marvellous. I think the way you stood by us is perfectly splendid. In fact, I think you're splendid altogether.
Do you, Mr. Bentley?
Oh, don't call me Bentley.
Well, what shall I call you then?
Bobby.
I'll get the telegram. It's gone.
Gone? The telegram?
Yes, it was on the dresser, but it's vanished.
Well, I must leave. I shall run into the woods. Up the chimney, down the coal cellar. That's it, the coal cellar. No one will find me there. Nobody wants coal this weather.
But Bobby, there are cockroaches.
Cockroaches or no cockroaches, I'm for the coal holes. And if you tell anyone where I am, I shall never let you call me Bobby again.
And if I find a telegram?
I shall emerge black as soot, but with a lily white conscience.
And if I can't find the telegram, I'll go straight to the village and... Quick, someone's coming!
Oh, Mrs. Harris, there you are. Has Molly told you about the dress that I want you to make for me?
Mate, I understood you only wanted me to fiddle about, as it were.
Alter? No, I've changed my mind. I'd like a dress similar to the one that I'm wearing, but like a different material and a different colour.
Pink flannelette is very attractive. Embroidered with a motif, as we say in Mayfair, of true lovers' knots in pure white curtain tape.
Well, rather Victorian, don't you think? I'd like something a little more shimmering.
Then may I suggest cellophane?
Rather too modern. My husband would object.
I think what Mrs. Pendrick really needs, Mother, is a dress cut to the same pattern as the one she's wearing.
Yes, that's right. Now, if your mother wants to take the measurements, then I'll get the material this afternoon and you can run it up for me this evening.
That would be a great joy to me, Mrs. Pendrick.
Oh, do you like dressmaking?
Give me a needle and thread and I'm the happiest woman. For God's sake, get me out of this. Find that telegram.
No, you can't tell you.
Well, look in the flower. Look in the... or anywhere.
I have!
What are you whispering about, Mrs. Harris?
Oh, just a little discussion regarding the tape measure. Whether to use the elastic one or ordinary rope.
Rope?
Oh, rope is excellent. One can do so many things with it. And if the worst comes to the worst, one can hang oneself.
You mean if the job doesn't work out as well as expected?
Oh, no fear of that with me, Mrs. Pendrick. I used to design all of Mrs. Bruce's dresses when she was with Hazel Molyneux.
Really?
Yes, they were the talk of Brixton.
You must have been quite a celebrity.
Oh, it was. And in fact, I designed the costume she wore when she went to the Chelsea Arts Ball as Eve.
But I always thought that Eve didn't wear a costume.
Ah, but it was winter at the time.
Here's the tape measure, Mother, and I'll take down the particulars.
Thank you, my dear. Right, well, Mrs. Penwick, let's get started. If you'll just let me have the dress.
Well, it's no good you measuring this dress. I've lost a little weight and it doesn't fit as nicely as I'd like it to. No, you'll have to measure me. Oh, I do hope Charles doesn't come in now. He's told me to go to Hartnell's.
I know where he'd tell me to go.
Where is Charles?
I think he's gone to change himself into a spaniel.
A spaniel?
Oh, just his joke, you know.
Well, I don't think it's very funny.
No, I don't think he does, really.
Right, I'm ready for you now, Mrs. Harris.
Where do I start?
Bust.
I probably shall. Right, Mrs. Penwick, if you can just hold the tape measure in the desired position, I shall walk round you. The exercise will do me good. Right. 59.
No, here, where I'm holding it.
Oh, yes, of course. How silly of me where you're holding it. 34.
That's better. Now my hips.
I shall have to do that from the rear.
It's quite amazing, you know, backless frocks aren't nearly as popular as they used to be.
No, I haven't worn one for years. It's remarkable how the bottom of skirts vary, isn't it?
I rather like scallops myself.
Well, personally, I prefer winkles.
There's scallops in the bottom of the skirt, Mother.
Oh, yes, of course, how silly of me. One seldom sees it these days, do they? Get me out of this. Search for that wire again.
All right, there's no use.
Now my waist. I hope I've lost quite a lot of weight there. Massage is absolutely wonderful.
Oh, yes, I know. I used to massage Mrs. Bruce when she came down for weekends.
Oh, you massage! Wonderful!
What's going on here?
Just you coming, just you.
She's doing nothing of the sort.
If I choose to have a dress made by Mrs. Harris or anyone else, I have the perfect right to do so. I'm sick to death of always being told where to go and what to do. Hartnells are not the only dressmakers. I'm sick of it, sick of it, sick of it!
But Margaret, you don't understand.
Oh, I understand. I'm not allowed to think for myself. I'm not allowed to have a mind of my own. Oh, why did I ever marry you?
Margaret?
Mrs. Harris, come to my room in 10 minutes and you can give me my phone bath and massage. Harris, I'm ready for my bath.
There, now we've got to decide.
She'll go mad.
Tell her she must wait.
She's not the waiting sort.
Quick, fall down the stairs.
Oh, we'll scream. mean?
I'll bang the lid of the chest.
Mrs. Harris, please hurry, I have nothing on.
Coming, Mrs. Pentwick, coming!
Oh, Mother's fallen down the stairs.
Oh! And she's upside down too.
Get her on her feet, that's the great thing. Yes, but how?
Well, put her legs down and the rest of her will come up.
Hurry! She's going! Hurry!
Oh, my arm! Oh! Oh, my arm!
A chair! Quick, Charles, quick! She's going to faint.
Oh! Oh!
It's your arm, Mother, that hurts.
Yes, but it's not the only place, darling.
Well, I must check. I think it's only a sprained wrist, but I must be sure. Now bend down. To the side. To the other side. Shake your legs. Waggle your head. Now turn around, Mother, so I can check you're all right from behind.
Is it still there, darling?
Yes, Mother, it's still there.
I'll take your word for it, but I can't feel a thing. Oh, my arm!
Only one arm.
Only one and quite sufficient too.
Well, look, we must call for a doctor at once.
There's no need, Madam. It's only a sprained wrist. Mother often sprains her wrist. She's so active, she doesn't realise her age.
Well, how did it happen?
I was turning a cartwheel on the landing.
You really shouldn't be doing that sort of thing at your age.
I know I shouldn't, but I've always been queen of the acrobats, haven't I, darling?
Come along, it seems that before it swells.
But what about Mrs. Penwick's massage?
Oh, that's out of the question now. Your arm will need complete rest.
Absolutely.
Oh, and I was so looking forward to it.
Oh, doubtlessly.
How unfortunate it all is, darling. How very unfortunate. Now look after your mother, won't you?
What a remarkable woman Mrs. Harris is. I don't think I've ever met anyone quite like her. Yet she reminds me of somebody. Oh, I do wish I could remember who it is.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Harris. Thank you.
Oh, it's good to be home where one is appreciated.
But what the hell are you doing there? You should be taking the kitchen to pieces if you're going to. You'll be chucked out of this house when you're here before long.
Am I dreaming? Take the kitchen to pieces, chucked out of my ear?
Dog's behind that hedge, Dick. Mol's coming up the garden path with Fritzy. Righto! Don't sit down on your backside doing nothing. Keep it down! Keep it down!
Keep it down! Keep it down! Is this a madhouse? I've never been spoken to in such a manner.
Oh, just a moment. I wish to have a word with Detective Inspector Bentley. You are not sleeping with me in my tent. I don't think so.
Dare he? How dare he? That horrible little beast!
You stop there. Mother!
I've returned home.
You can't stop. I love you ever so much, but you've got to go.
Can't stop. Well, let us come over you. Why can't I stop?
I've already got a mother. I can't have two.
Already got a mother?
I had to have another mother.
Another mother?
I had to have another mother because Mr. Pentwick has a jealous wife.
And what's that got to do with it?
Everything. If I hadn't a mother, she would have left him by now. Oh, do go before anyone sees
Have
you.
you gone off your head?
No, but I shall if you don't go, Mother.
Are you ashamed for Mr. Pentwick to see me?
Oh no, I think you're ever so lovely and good and sweet, but you just mustn't be seen.
Why mustn't I be seen?
Because poor Mr. Pentwick's demented as it is. And if he saw you, he'd go completely crackers.
But why should I have that effect on him? I dote on other people.
You do, Mother. I mean, you would as things are.
As things are.
Yes, there are several people in this house who go crackers. as if they saw you and knew that you were my real mother.
Has this place been turned into a mental home?
Well, if you don't go...
I think it has. I hadn't been here 2 minutes when a man dashed past and told me to take the kitchen to pieces. Oh, I've been chucked out on my ear.
That must have been Mr. Dick.
Oh, is he an inmate?
No, it's Mr. Pentwick's son.
Oh, then I suppose the man that came along later was Mr. Pentwick.
What did he do?
He told me to keep it damp. Whatever that meant.
You meant Mr. Mole's shirt.
And that Mr. Mole creature, he was the last straw. He had the audacity to tell me that I wasn't going to sleep in his tent tonight. I didn't think so.
He said that to you, Mother.
He did. My crow. I suppose just because I gave him a couple of eggs.
Oh, no, he was talking for Bobby.
Who's Bobby?
My other mother. That's a wonderful thing in the world.
Me?
Yes, he's only wearing skirts because he loves me.
Does he love you? What sort of man is this?
He's the most darlingest thing you've ever seen.
He sounds it.
He's only my mother because I asked him to be for Mr. Pentwick's sake.
Oh, Molly, I don't understand if I promise.
Don't ask now, Mother, there isn't
But I
time.
must know what's going on.
It's all so complicated. I'll write tonight, but just go before anyone sees you.
Well, that's all very well, but, I mean, where can I go? I've had a row with Emily. I can't go back there.
Well, what about that old lady you used to make broth for?
She died 2 years ago. I don't know where she is.
Well, go back to London and stay in a hotel. You have the money.
Oh, that's all very well, but I can't go. Where am I going?
Darling, you can. Say you can. You must for my sake. Oh, darling, say you
Oh,
will.
for heaven's sake, don't sit there spooning when you ought to be ransacking the kitchen.
Bobby is ransacking the kitchen.
Then who the devil is this?
Mother.
Not the real.
Yes.
Good heavens, what are you going to do with her?
Chuck her out from her ears!
Oh, I'm frightfully sorry. I mistook you for...
Bobby, I know.
This is Mr. Dick, Mother.
How do you do? When are you leaving?
I don't know whether I am leaving.
Oh, but you jolly well up. I mean, you mustn't miss your train back.
Back where?
Well, wherever you came from.
We're trying to think of a place.
Doesn't she know?
Yes, but she can't go back there.
Not even if we pay them well.
It is not a matter of money, Mr. Pentwick. It is a matter of principle.
Oh, we haven't any principles in this house at the moment, so you won't like it a bit. And the only place you could go is in the coal hole with Molly's other mother.
In the coal hole?
Don't stand there gossiping, lend a hand. And if you're not going to do any work, you might as well go back and play with the cockroaches.
I shall do nothing of the sort.
You've made a mistake, Father. This is Mrs. Harris, the real thing.
The real... This is the death blow.
You must go now, Mother. Mr. Pentwick will have a fit and die.
If only one of you would it...
If Margaret sees her, my life is finished.
You see how serious things are now? You can't stay here and see people dying all over the place.
If only one of you would
There
explain
isn't
what this is all
time.
about.
If Margaret came here and found you, we'd have over.
Is this your wife? The one wearing my second best jumper and skirt?
Good Lord, no!
This is Bobby, Mother.
Mother? Hey!
You must meet Mother. I've told her how lovely you are. Mother, this is Mr. Bobby Bentley, who we saw in The Girl from Cordova.
Not the Bobby Bentley. The one that fell down the well in the second act.
The very same.
Then why are you dressed in my clothes and wearing one of Mrs. Bruce's wigs and posing as my daughter's mother?
Don't imagine that I want to be Molly's mother. If you hadn't have broken your contract, I wouldn't have had to be.
That's right, by gad.
Broken my contract?
Yes, it was distinctly stated in the agreement from Major Bruce that you were to remain here as housekeeper, but you didn't.
No, you packed your bag and went to the wilds of Brixton.
That's right, Mother.
And if this gallant gentleman hadn't impersonated you, my domestic life would have been over.
Understand?
Why, have you no imagination? Can't you see what would have happened if my wife, a jealous woman, had found me being looked after, not by a widowed lady, as my son had already told her, but by a beautiful and young damsel?
Oh. How many people are staying in this house?
6, why?
And where did you sleep last night?
Oh, I thought that was coming.
In Mr. Mole's tent, Mother.
Dressed in my clothes?
Well, we hadn't had time to change.
Well, that accounts after Mr. Mole's behaviour, and heaven knows what else you've done to my reputation. I shall leave this house on one condition, that you no longer continue to impersonate me.
I'd have chucked it an hour ago if we could have found the telegram.
The telegram?
The one that Mr. Pendrick sent you. We've looked for it everywhere.
I've got it here in my handbag.
Bobby, we're saved.
Oh, my sister Emily, she needs me.
Emily?
She's very ill.
Well, she was all right when I left her.
She's had a relapse.
Hurry, Mother. Give me the telegram.
I haven't decided where I'm going yet.
Well, there must be somewhere, do you think?
I've got it. My flat, 8 Pomeroy Mansion, St John's Wood. 10 minutes from the West End.
And I can get you tickets for all the shows.
Stay as long as you like.
Have the holiday of your life.
Oh, Mother, wouldn't that be wonderful?
I'll phone the hall porter and have it fixed up for you in 10 minutes.
Oh, there's nothing I'd like better.
Then you will?
Oh, say you will.
Oh, yes.
Great. Any show you like, just let me know.
Dine at all the best hotels and send the bills in to Father.
Now, you must leave by the back door, Mother, in case Mrs. Pendrick sees you.
I must have my suitcase.
Here it is. And the flat will be ready for you by the time you arrive tonight. I'll phone as soon as I've got my trousers on.
If you hurry, Mother, you'll catch the bus at the end of the lane.
This is not quite the homecoming I expected.
Oh, I'm sorry, it'll be better next
I
time.
sincerely hope it will be.
Goodbye, Mother.
Goodbye then, dear. And, well, goodbye, Mr. Bentley. And thank you so much.
Don't speak of it. Goodbye, Mother.
Oh, Mr. Bentley, what a woman you are.
Come on, Mrs. Harris, I'll see you off the premises.
Rather.
Quick, get into position.
Position?
You've got to have hysterics.
Hysterics? Why?
You received a telegram. Emily's very ill.
Oh, I see. The idea to bring Mrs. Pendrick down to see.
Yes, and show her the telegram, say you must leave at once.
You had everything packed,
Yes, with the things you came in.
and then I change in the car.
Yes, it's all arranged. Dick knows what to do. Now get on with your hysterics.
Where do I stand?
Here. Hold the telegram in your hand and let the envelope fall at your feet. That's right.
Where will you be?
Sporting you, I think you're going to faint.
Do I think?
No,
I think it would be very realistic if I did.
I don't think someone might give way.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, your arm. It's on your sleeve. No, the other one. Now, moan.
Oh!
Louder.
Oh!
Louder.
Oh!
Look out, here she comes.
Oh, whatever has happened now?
Mother's received a telegram.
Poor Emily.
Who's Emily?
Her sister, Mrs. Pendrick, she's very ill.
She needs me.
Well, then you must go to her at once.
How will you manage without me?
You are not to worry about us. Of course we can manage without you.
You're all so good to me.
Dick, get a chair, and Charles, run upstairs and get my smelling salts. Oh, now you must bear up. Perhaps it's not as bad as you think.
Oh, but it is.
Oh.
I'll get your hat and coat, Mother, and put some things in a bag.
Dick will drive you to the station, won't you, dear?
Rather. I'll get the car started.
Poor Emily. It wasn't expected until next month.
Shan't be long, Mother.
Oh,
Give the smelling
I
salts.
thought you were never coming, Charles.
I got Lysol by mistake. Here, sniff these.
Anybody think you're dealing with a man? Now inhale gently, Mrs. Harris, and you'll feel better.
It was the shock.
Yes, of course it was.
What a foolish woman I am.
Here are your things, Mother.
Thank you, my dear.
Now stand so I can help you put them on.
I'll hold the hat.
Now, you'll catch the 10:15 nicely, and don't forget to thank Mr. Dick. You did want to wear your best hat, did you, Mother?
Oh my God, no.
This one is so charming. And most becoming.
There, now you're ready.
And remember, you are not to worry about us.
I'm afraid I'm a little shy. I won't be able to write this evening, darling.
Oh, I shan't expect a letter, Mother.
Don't worry about us. Please don't worry about us.
I shall never forget your kindness, Mrs. Penwick, never.
Oh, don't be silly.
The car's ready when you are, Mrs. Harris.
I have everything, do I?
Yes, Mother.
You did pack my trousers?
Yes, Mother.
You didn't know to pack my trousers?
I'd barge off as quickly as possible if I was you.
Really, Charles?
I have a mother's heart, Mr. Penwick. I couldn't leave Molly for long. I'm afraid I'm a little short of money.
Oh, Charles, give Mrs. Harris a fiver. Same time.
Mr. Penwick, I hardly like to take it. I don't know when I shall be able to repay you.
Not at all. I'm damn certain about that.
Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, Mother.
Think of me, won't you?
Every minute, Mother.
Darling. Bless you, darling.
What time does the train go?
10:15. Goodbye, darling. You'll take care of her, won't you?
Of course we will.
Goodbye, darling. I must be brave. Oh.
She'll be better once she's on the train.
Well, it's not as bad as all that, Charles. He's going
Joe,
away.
you're right. It's so far.
Listen,
Oh, that's Dick. He always drives like the devil.
but I didn't know that
He's taken Mrs. Harris back to the station
the telegram was found.
in the real Mrs. Harris's handbag.
The real Mrs. Harris.
She turned up.
Oh my
Oh, it's all
God.
right, she's gone now. Shh, Margaret. Dick's back, my dear.
Yes, I know. And have you seen who's with him?
No, who's with him?
Bobby Bentley.
Bentley? What's he doing here?
Well, I expect he's come down with a good idea for your next production.
Hello, Bentley. Nice to see you at Cranby Cottage.
Come, old man. Heard about your trouble, but thank heavens Dick tells me it's all right now.
Yes, it's quite all right.
Why, if it isn't Mrs. Penwick herself, this is great. Hello, Fritzy. How's the honeymoon going?
Fine, thanks.
Bit of luck, my meeting Dick on the platform. I recognised Mrs. Harris directly. What charm that woman has. Hasn't changed at all since she was Hazel Molyneux's dresser. She had a daughter, you know, Molly, a remarkable actress. I wonder what's happened to her. Married, I suppose.
No, she's here.
Here, staying.
No, she's the parlour maid.
The man who let that girl leave the stage and go into public service should be horsewhipped. And now I'll tell you something that I've never revealed to a living soul. Molly and I used to be sweethearts.
Well,
I thought that would surprise you, Charles, and I'll tell you something else that I've got in mind for her. Molly, don't you recognise me?
It's not. It can't be.
It is!
Bobby, how wonderful.
Oh, this is fate, absolutely fate.
So, what do you think about finding Bobby then? Well, you two look pretty matey.
We're going to be married.
Bobby!
things happen quite quickly in this house.
I jolly well think they do. Congratulations.
Well done.
And that goes for all of us.
Yes, indeed.
I'm not going to make a long speech, but I'll just say thank you all very much indeed.
Well, now that you're engaged, old man, why don't you take this place on for a month?
Is this a dream?
No, an offer. Well, Margaret and I are going home tonight, and Dick and Fritzy are going off to Scotland, so you might as well take this place as is for the month.
We can put up the bands in the village and be married at Little Taunton.
Oh, Bobby, this is marvellous.
Charles, I have just realised who Mrs. Harris reminds me of.
Who, my dear?
Well, that really interesting lady in the box office at the Majestic.
Why, of course!
Goodbye all. I'm on my way. Cheerio everybody. Cheerio. Oh, I found this in my tent. It's yours, Mr. Bentley, or if it's yours, Fritzy. Bye-bye. All the gnats are about again.